Hi! In today's video, I wanted to talk about 10 different ways you can live more sustainably. Free ways to live more sustainably. I know there's plenty of content out there about things that you can buy to live more sustainably, and while I have made a number of those purchases myself, I wanted to talk about some free things today. A lot of these are really easy ways, kind of like, baby steps, but they can make a small difference. The first one I want to talk about is plants. And I know this might not sound free initially, but we all buy food. So it's not an extra added expense that you wouldn't normally be choosing. But instead of buying something like basil, for example, which I would typically buy in the little plastic container from the grocery store and then use the basil and throw away the container, and that is some plastic waste that I would like to avoid. A different thing that you could do instead is buy either seeds, or at the grocery store, I've seen many different stores that actually sell the plant in a pot for basil and other herbs as well. And I think this is a good choice to make because it's lower waste and you take care of the plant properly. You should be able to continuously grow basil for a longer period of time and have to buy basil less frequently. I know it's really popular right now. I feel like in recent years, having houseplants has really become trendy almost, which is cool. But I think that it's even cooler to choose plants in your house that are actually useful, because I think it's extra sustainable to, get more out of a plant than just decoration. It also helps with the air in your home, and also you can eat it. The next sustainable tip I wanted to talk about is reusing containers. This isn't really a new idea. In fact, I feel like everybody has that one older person in their family who has like a Cool Whip container from 1992 that does not have Cool Whip in it anymore, and they use it kind of as Tupperware. And I think that is not something to make fun of necessarily. I really like, though, to reuse glass containers for food again. Like when I buy a jar of marinara sauce at the grocery store, I get the ones in the glass container rather than plastic because I think that's a better choice. And also, rather than recycling them, which is okay, I think it's even more sustainable to reuse that item, either by using it kind of how you would a food storage container, like if you ever make some sauce in the future or just leftovers, you can use that jar. Or you can do another thing that I frequently use my glass containers for, which is put some plants in, because I have a decent amount of plants. The third thing I wanted to mention is water usage and the temperature of that water. So we all use water at least somewhat, but a more sustainable way to do that is to use cold water rather than hot. And in particular, I'm referring to laundry and also dishes. I've found that washing my clothes in cold water compared to when I used to wash them in hot, my clothes are equally as clean whether I wash them in cold water or hot water. And it takes more energy to heat water, so may as well just use the cold. And I think the same can be said for dishes. You're still able to clean your dishes perfectly fine without using hot water. Although, if you really want to be extra sustainable with your water usage, you should probably use a dishwasher, because those are much more efficient than hand washing, but I don't have a dishwasher. Also, if you're brave enough, you could try this with showering. I'll leave that up to you, but in all of the ways that you use water in your life, you can change at least some of them from hot to cold water. Next, I wanted to mention, in case anyone on this channel doesn't know, I'm vegan, and I have been for quite some time now. And the very first thing that initially got me interested in going vegan was the environmental impact. There are countless studies that show how sustainable eating vegan is compared to even a vegetarian or a meat eater's diet. It's just a really great choice for the planet. I am also pro-reducitarian. Obviously, I think if you have the ability to go vegan, which I did, and did without problems, I think that that's the best choice. But if for whatever reason you're concerned about not being able to commit to the lifestyle fully, try eating vegan 1 day a week, or 2 days a week, or 3 days a week. Something is better than nothing. My next suggestion for living more sustainably is not really great for the times at this moment. I had this video idea quite a while ago, but as things are opening back up, I really think it's a better choice to shop in person rather than online. I know shopping isn't free, but we all purchase something. And I think that it's a better choice to do your shopping in person at the actual store, because then you do not have to contribute to the extra packaging waste that goes into shipping things to you, like the boxes and plastic as well. And also, you don't have to contribute to extra transportation costs from buying something that might be in a different state. Think about purchasing that item in person, which also is a great way to help support local businesses. The next thing that is a great idea for living a bit more sustainably and also just taking an annoyance out of your life is choosing paperless options whenever possible. Get your bills emailed to you. I know you check your email every day. You don't need to receive the bill and create extra paper waste by having that come to you in the mail. Everything that you need, I promise, it's online and you don't need to get a paper copy. As well as putting yourself on lists to not get junk mail. I did notice a pretty big decrease after I did that, just because there's so much paper waste in junk mail. There was just so many pieces of things in my mailbox that I didn't want, and I was just throwing away a huge amount of paper. And even though, you can recycle paper, I just don't want it to be produced in the first place. So taking yourself off those lists is a good way to reduce waste, and also you just don't have to worry as much about mail and junk mail, which is nice to not think about that anymore. Also, I know this is a hard switch to make because Google is so ingrained in us as like a strongly held habit that we all have, but switching from Google to a different search engine like Ecosia, because Ecosia is just a more sustainable, eco-friendly business that puts an emphasis on trying to help the environment. It's just worth trying out a different search engine, even if you don't use it all the time. If you don't find what you need through Ecosia, then you can go to Google. It doesn't hurt to try and use it, and it's just a pretty easy, free thing to switch to. Another sustainable tip that I really like is shopping at the farmer's market, or even better, signing up for a CSA, which is you basically get a box delivered to you. It depends on the CSAs that are near you, but either on a weekly basis or every other week basis of fresh produce from farmers who are local to your area. This is a great way to cut down on, again, shipping costs rather than purchasing fruits and vegetables or other produce that may be coming from far away, to get something that you know is very close by and it's just fresher and better for the environment. And you're going to be buying produce anyway, so may as well buy your produce through the farmer's market or a CSA. The next thing I want to mention is voting, because voting is free, so voting is great, and it's a good way to have an impact and something that's very important to me when I look at different candidates, whether it's a presidential candidate or Congress or even your local elections. Look and see what they're interested in. Is the environment and plans to help the environment part of their platform? Is that something that they have as a priority? Because there are a lot of candidates out there that that's not something that they plan or desire to address at all if they're elected for office, which is really disappointing. So you can put your vote towards the candidates that do care about the environment, and hopefully there's a better chance that they'll put policies in place that help the whole community be more sustainable. The last thing I have to mention for today's video is something so simple, but just picking up trash when you see it outside. It seems like the smallest thing, but there is a lot of litter in the world, and it only takes 1 second to pick up something that someone else threw just on the ground and put it in the trash can. It's just the easiest, freest way to just do something that is a little bit better and feel like you're helping create a more sustainable environment and community. So those are all of the tips I wanted to share in this video today. Let me know if you have other free ways that you can live your life more sustainably, and thanks for watching.